Hey real estate investors, today I'm getting ready to start an apartment make ready in this really cool building. It's a 170-year-old building. It has been renovated maybe about 30 years ago, but it's up on the second floor and it's in a really cool part of my little town down here. Try to pan around so you can see it. So anyhow, let's go up and take a look. All right, here we are inside, and this is not a property that I own. It's actually a property manager that manages it. I do a lot of work for him, so do a lot of his rehabs, leasing, and various other things. These hardwood floors are pretty cool, but they are damaged. I don't think he wants to spend the money on these to refinish them, so we're just going to try to match some stain and get them looking the best we can without doing a full refinish on them. I've tested both the windows here, and neither one of them will stay up, so I'm going to have to get my window guy to look at that. Looks like they had a dog. He did a number on this windowsill. I don't know if I'm going to Bondo it or just paint it. I may just paint it, honestly. And then here, they put halogen lights in all these apartments that are down here in this area. They put them in for some reason. We're going to take those out. It's always a problem because the tenants can never change the bulbs. And so they're always burnt out every time we go into one of these. We're also going to change out the ceiling fan because it has the halogen bulbs as well. One of these halogen. And even honestly, when you have regular light bulbs, when they're high ceilings like this, I would guess these are about 11-foot ceilings. The tenants just have a hard time changing the bulbs in them. But we'll just change the bulbs in those fixtures. Yeah, that's what you put on your vent. And in here, you can see, I don't think they've ever cleaned these vents. In the kitchen, typical stuff. Broken shelf, a little duct tape, fix that. No, I'm gonna order a part for that. Replace that. A stove you probably can't see in here, but it has never been cleaned, I would guess, since they've been here. And these tenants were here before we started working on these, so I'm not sure how long they were here, honestly. Apparently they like shot glasses, so they left us a nice little collection of those. And probably the worst thing in the whole apartment is this undermount sink in Corian is cracked. And the tenants had a pan under here, I guess, to collect the water, so it's obviously leaking. Not sure what to do here yet. I may have to call a chlorine specialist, but I'm going to measure up and see if I can just cut this out and put in a drop-in stainless steel sink. If anybody has any thoughts on this, please leave them in the comments below. Would love to hear any suggestions you may have. Here's a very odd little room. I'm not sure what you would call this. I think we're going to call it a den or a study. And it's got these ceiling tiles that look like shit, but it's covering up the furnace. So I don't know if I'm just going to replace those tiles or I may just tear this whole thing out. It may look better, honestly, just seeing the furnace rather than those ceiling tiles, but we'll figure that out. Carpet is destroyed. It's all going to need to be replaced. Looks like the dog had some fun back here too. It's not a That's pretty easy fix, just mud it and paint it. Look at this wall, the filth on this wall. And all the trim, all the doors have got to be painted. A complete mess. And in here is something really odd I can't figure out, so I'd love to hear your thoughts. There's a closet that looks like a tenant built it. Maybe it was, who knows, someone in the past built it. But I don't know what the purpose of it is. I've talked to a few people. The only thing in here is an electric panel, and I've talked to a few people that said maybe it's to cover the electric panel because there is a sprinkler system here, but I don't know why you just wouldn't build a box over the panel. So if you have any thoughts, please leave them below. But we're going to tear it out because you can't get a washer and dryer in here with that closet there. And then even something weird back here too. Okay, dryer vent in the floor is a little weird, but no big deal. No idea what that pipe is for there. And then here, where you would drain your washer, they have it capped off. So I'm honestly not sure what's going on with this. If you have any thoughts on that, we'd love to hear them as well. Got to get rid of this crap the tenant left here. In the bathroom, I think we can clean up this tub course, as always, missing the stopper. I think we can clean up that tub. Of course, another burned out light. Vanity, I think it can be cleaned up. It's not too bad. I think we can clean that up and it'll be fine. Toilet paper holder tore off. This baby's just barely hanging on, so we'll fix all that. Alright guys, here is the finished apartment. So I'll take you and show you on these floors. I went and tried to find stain that matched up the best I could. Now this isn't going to be perfect, but it does look a lot better than leaving just the exposed bare wood there. So I think these turned out pretty good. The floors are actually a pretty nice feature of this apartment. For the windows, I had the window guy come out, and I don't know what they're called, on each side of the springs or whatever it is. He was able to fix them. He charged me 120 bucks to fix both these windows, so it wasn't too bad to get these fixed. On the windowsill, I just went over this with some 20-minute hot mud and painted it. It's not perfect, but you honestly don't want to make this too perfect because I believe this is the original trim. This building's 170 years old, and you can see it's far from perfect, but it's actually kind of a cool feature of the apartment to have this historic trim in here. The property manager had asked me to get rid of all the halogen fixtures, so we replaced the ceiling fan, and there was track lighting on both sides, and I tried to put in some track lighting Lowe's had, and it was such junk that I took it back and just got these fixtures. My wife tells me that these are absolutely ridiculous, but I think they look just fine. They're inexpensive and they're practical because it's pretty easy to change the bulbs in them. So let me know what you think about them. The ceilings, we ended up having to paint those because they were just dirty throughout. We also painted all the trim, all the doors, and the walls as well. The trim, we always use semi-gloss trim white, and for the walls we use agreeable gray satin on all the apartments that I do anyhow. The fridge, I had a new cleaning lady. She did a good job cleaning this stuff up. She got rid of all that deer meat or whatever it was. Cleaned up this and the fridge. I replaced that little broken shelf edge there. Just a tip on buying appliance parts. Go to repairclinic.com, put in your model number, and they've got a great website that has a lot of data out there and a lot of diagrams and things like that. And find your part. Then you can copy the OEM part number and take that to Amazon and paste it. And you can usually get it cheaper and get it quicker in most cases. So I hate to do that to Repair Clinic. I love their website, but hey guys, you gotta save a buck where you can save a buck, right? On the sink, we were able to put a drop-in stainless steel and get rid of the Corian undermount. The challenge with this was that it's a 30-inch sink base. Lowe's only sells in stock anyhow 25 and 33-inch stainless steel drop-in sinks. On the inside of this cabinet is about 28.5 inches, so when I measured from here to over here, it was almost exactly 28.5 inches, so it did fit. It was a snug fit, but there are mounting brackets on the underside of this that go all the way around so that you can clamp this to the underside of the countertop. I had to break that bracket off of both sides. And so what I did, just take some channel locks and just rocked it back and forth till it broke. They were just spot welded on. The only thing, and I don't know if you can see it in the video, the spot welds kind of telescope through, but I can definitely live with that. This would have been a very expensive job if we had to replace this because you couldn't just go get standard laminate countertops. They don't carry stuff like this bar and standard laminate countertops. So this was a really good solution that saved us a lot of time and money. So I'm very happy with how it turned out. While we were doing it, the Delta faucet was here, was probably 25 years old. So for 55 bucks, I think it was, you should replace it when you're doing a job like this. Underneath, it did have a disposal, but it was leaking. And so the dishwasher was draining into the disposal. So what I did, just put in a new tailpiece that has a place for the dishwasher to drain and just eliminate the disposal altogether. If you can do that in a rental, I would highly advise it because disposals are just service calls waiting to happen. So if you can, get rid of them. And The electric is still back there for the disposal. I have a box I'm going to mount back there to put this in. I just don't have a blank cover with me. But then the electric's there. If someone wants to add a disposal in the future, it'll be there and ready for them to do it. In this room, I did end up just replacing the bad ceiling tiles. These ceiling tiles that were existing have like an insulation back and they're really flexible. I couldn't readily get those, so I just bought standard ceiling tiles, but they're a little more rigid, and that would have made it a bear to get this in and out to replace the filter. So what I got from Lowe's, I didn't even know this product existed, but it's for ceiling tiles, but it's almost like a craft board or something. You can see it's plain on this side, and I just cut it to fit, and then on the back I super glued some magnets to it, so just some strip magnets. Now the magnets come with the adhesive, but it wasn't strong enough to hold it, so I put them on with super glue. And now when the guys need to change the filter, they can just pop it off and then put it back on. The magnets will stick to that outside frame for the ceiling tile. So I think those guys are going to really appreciate that the next time they come out to replace a filter. In the bedroom, replaced the carpet. Also got rid of the old halogen fixture in here as well. The dog damage on here, this is just drywall, so we just hit it with some 20-minute mud and painted it. It wasn't a big deal to fix this. In this closet, that closet that was built out of OSB is here. I ended up tearing it out. Now, one theory I'd heard was because it was protecting the electric panel from the sprinkler system, but when I looked inside that closet, there's actually a sprinkler inside there, so that kind of threw that theory out. What I think it was is probably a tenant built it, and they were probably using this little room as a bedroom for a kid. Be my best guess. If you have any thoughts on it, please leave them in the comments below. Would love to hear it. And also, if you have any thoughts on why this pipe is here, I still don't know what that's for. It's right here with the washer and dryer hookup. But if you have any thoughts on that, please leave those in the comments as well. In the bathroom, the tub really cleaned up nicely. And for the drain, I just put this Watco product on here. This just goes over your existing drain and attaches with caulk. And they're only about $20–25, and it's just quicker and it's a lot less risk than replacing the actual drain there. So I've used these before many times in the past, never had a problem with them. I have a video on it if you want to learn more about them, but check it out. It's a really good solution, especially for apartments, and you don't eliminate a lot of risk from plumbing leaks and things like that. Everything in here cleaned up nicely. I went ahead and replaced all the toilet paper holders and the towel holders and all that in here. So in total in this job, I had about 50 hours. So it's a nice little side hustle for you if you're looking to earn some extra money. Also, another side hustle I have on this job is I'm the listing agent or the leasing agent for it. So for that, I charge 1 month's rent, which we've got this one listed as $9.50. So there's a couple good little side hustles for you if you're looking for a way to earn some extra money. I hope you guys like this kind of content, and if you do, please subscribe, and thank you for watching.